The Street Report Podcast is being brought to you by, produced by, engineered by Sia Multimedia, a digital production company specializing in podcasts like this, social media strategies, and online social media commercials for your business. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Sia Multimedia, or visit our website at siamultimedia.com. That's C-Y-A Multimedia.com. Sia Multimedia, making sure all eyes are on you.
You gonna learn today.
1, 2, 3.
Let's go.
Are you ready?
This ain't the radio.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
The Street Report Podcast.
He raps for the DMV to the fullest.
Hosted by Easy.
Mr. President.
It is great to talk to you.
Raw and uncut.
I'll let your boys, it's JC.
DJ Khaled.
What up, though? It's your boy, Big Snoop, D-O-double-G. Rocking out with my nephew, Easy Street.
Easy Street.
The Street Report Podcast, hosted by Easy.
The following podcast may contain language not suitable for some audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Make sure you subscribe to the Street Report Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, or Google Play. Just search the Street Report Podcast. The Street Report Podcast. No boundaries. On the show today, my girl Tara, a.k.a. Kisses. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Okay, and my co-host with the most.
Yeah, I'm just finding out what this is about.
Iron's here, and you didn't know that we're about to talk about the swing life?
I didn't. But
we're about
no.
to talk about the swing life.
Great, because I have questions.
What up, JB? We'll bring him on in a little bit. Kisses and Cocktails.
Yeah, I have my own little podcast, Kisses and Cocktails, and I have an adult entertainment business, and people just reference me as Kisses.
Right, so we call her Kisses, but her real name is Tara.
Yes.
So Tara, let's talk about your very first swing experience. How did you meet this guy?
Well, it wasn't a guy. I was invited to like a regular meet and greet. It was just in a public place.
And it's called a munch.
It's called a munch. So I went to this munch, meet and greet, and I met a whole group of people. And for me, I was just nervous. I was like, oh, we're going to do some freaky stuff in a public place? Like, wait a minute.
You thought you was about to go in and get it in. Hey.
What's the dynamic of a munch? Is it?
I thought I was at the go-go for a minute.
No, you were not at the go-go. You were at a munch event. But for a munch, do they do the math? Did they go, okay, we're going to have 50 women and 50 girls?
A munch is just basically a meet and greet. It's just us meeting other people that have the same interests and curiosities. And
so it has a language of its own.
Yeah.
So tell me, okay, I want you to close your eyes. Tell me about right before you walked into the munch. Like, were you thinking, okay, what am I going to encounter? Or were you like, this is a bad move? Tell me your very exact thoughts before getting out of your car, walking to this place. Okay.
My hands were shaky. My palms were sweaty because I didn't know what to expect.
Okay.
I didn't really have a lot of knowledge about anything, so I was just going in there blindly.
Were you immediately approached?
Yeah, but it was with open arms. Hey, how are you doing?
With open arms and open legs and everything else.
But yeah, good one.
So now you said it wasn't with a man.
No, it was a group of people. We were all just meeting up for drinks. Okay. And we were just talking about
So at the munch, hey, how you doing? My name is Tara.
Right.
I'm here to find out what's going on.
Right.
I want to know what's going on in this situation, and then what happens next after you find somebody that you're attracted to.
Well, it doesn't necessarily happen at the munch. You just kind of get your education crash course, like introduction to what everything is. You kind of talk with people.
So there's a swingers syllabus.
So to speak, yes.
Yeah, they do have rules and procedures.
Yes. Yeah, we have rules and guidelines and etiquette.
We'll get to all of that later on, but there are procedures and guidelines. I mean, not that you would want to know because you're going to go find out for yourself, but just so we can inform our viewers.
I'm not that brave. I'm a Scorpio, but I'm not that brave.
My Aries.
I'm not that brave.
So, okay. So now you went in.
Right.
You met them. They broke things down.
Right.
What happened next?
So after that, they're like, okay, everybody says their goodbyes, and then we all talk about the next upcoming event, where there's play at, which is sexual intercourse can take place there. And then that was kind of my first experience in going into that. Walking into those doors, again, had no clue what to expect. And, initially it started off.
Nervous?
I was extremely nervous because I didn't know anybody. I was new to this area. I didn't know.
So DC basically turned you out. You wasn't a swinger until you came here.
I want us to get those points.
I wasn't full blown into the swing life, no, until I came to this area.
So DC, we got
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. I was treading on water back home, but this kind of fully
Is that
engulfed.
one of the reasons why you came out here to DC in the first place, so you could be able to have a more richer lifestyle, to be able to do things that you probably couldn't do where you were before?
Actually, to be honest, I came to DC because I was offered a job.
Okay.
I'm a therapist, so I came here because I was offered a job, and I just kind of was like, okay, this is the next biggest city. I'm sure they have more options, and lo and behold, they had an immense amount of options, and here I am.
Okay, so now let's talk about your very first playtime experience. I want to know about the person.
Was it a disaster?
What you were thinking, and what happened?
So it was not a disaster. It was very nerve-wracking. It was an older gentleman.
White or black?
Will you please?
He was black.
Oh, hold on, Iron. Hold on. Calm down, boy. Down, boy. Down. Down.
He was black. Probably, I don't know, 5 years older than me. Kind of showed me throughout the venue that we had reserved. They had reserved for the party, and had some drinks, and it just we just started playing. People started crowding around in the...
Okay, so now this was in an open space where there were other people, or were you in a private space where you were just one-on-one with him?
We initially started one-on-one, but then more other couples came and were playing together within that room. And then there's an ability for other people to watch from the outside.
So that's part of it too. Not only is it you having playtime, but people being able to... Is a word voyeurism?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And just
That's
to watch
me.
that.
That's me. That's
yeah.
me.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to come to
I mean, not me, but kind of me, a little bit me. I like to watch, but not
but you
too
want
much.
to play too?
No, I don't want to play. We already had this discussion.
Okay. You're right.
Yeah,
Touche.
Wow. So, okay.
Go ahead, Iron.
So let me. My next question would be: so, if someone wanted to join in, is it like wrestling? Do you just tag in?
Wrestling.
Do you like tag in? How do you?
Well, no. And that's
Are you allowed to reject? So let's say you're having an amazing moment with Sir, and then Sir times 2 wants to come in, and you're like, no, Sir times 2. I'm good here at Sir times 1.
Right.
Wow.
They have to abide by that because it's all about consent. Everything that is involved in the swing life is based on consent. It's based on rules.
And they have it in writing too.
Before any of the play begins or sex happens, we read rules.
Wow.
There are regulation, there are guidelines and expectations to participate in these parties. It's not a free-for-all. Most people look at it like what they see on porn. It's just a big orgy, people just going at it. It's just craziness. That's not how a true lifestyle party is conducted. It's very safe. We always use protection. We make sure that there is security and people that are walking around to make sure that everybody feels safe. And you're never obligated to have to play.
Well, as every story has a pro and con, is there a con?
It definitely is, because if you go into the swing life, into these parties, and you're a couple, you need to make sure that relationship is very solid going into it. Don't go into wanting to swap couples or this lifestyle thinking it's going to fix a relationship or a marriage. It can be the demise of it.
I can believe that.
You really have to make sure that you know your partner before going into these situations, or it's a recipe for disaster.
Understood.
So your swing life, is it something that you're very public about? Only a couple people know about it, or you keep it on the down low? How does that work?
No, pretty much everybody knows.
Everyone knows?
Yeah, including my parents. Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
So what does Mom and Dad think about you being in the swing life?
Well, my mom's super religious, so she doesn't really care for it that much, but I'm an adult.
She sprinkled some
holy
water on
all
you?
of that.
She anointed you?
Yes.
Lord Jesus.
All of that.
We're
going to pray for her. But,
speak in tongues?
She probably did. My dad, he's just like, as long as you're being safe. Okay. So, of course, they don't necessarily agree with what I'm doing, but I'm an adult and they respect me and my decisions. And yeah, it is what it is.
Okay, so let's get personal.
Okay.
Let's talk about your types in the swing life.
Okay.
What are your types?
So I identify as pansexual. So
What does that mean?
So pansexuality
Ooh.
means that I don't. I like all genders. So not.
Is that what Janelle Monáe says she is?
Yeah. So man, woman, or intersex.
Okay,
What-
so wait a minute,
what's
stop right there. I know what a
Or
man is.
transgender.
I know what a woman is. What's intersex? What is that?
So intersex is kind of like a hermaphrodite or transgender.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Would fall into that
Okay,
category.
so-
they're not hermaphrodite, but that category is inclusive of pansexuality, that you don't necessarily see gender, you just see people.
Okay, have you played with someone transgender before?
Yes.
Wow.
What was that like?
It was fun. Had a good time.
So that's we're talking about the same thing Dwight Howard is all caught up in right
Wait
now?
a minute, hold on.
Well, that's a whole nother different.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly caught up in? Oh, have you seen him? He's in here in DC. Have you seen him at places?
I have not seen him at places.
You said that, so you're just open.
Yes.
You're open to all these.
I see people, not gender. If
Okay.
that makes it easier for people
So
to understand.
how did you get to that point?
I'm just a very open-minded person. I feel like it's more of a vibe and a chemistry and connection to a person versus how they look like underneath their clothing. You know, I want it to be something that's a deeper connection than how you can your physical aesthetic looks. And so for me, that doesn't have to be a deterrent about if we're going to be together.
I think that's where it's very interesting to me, because I'm wondering if that type of a lifestyle will erode a connection.
How so?
I don't know. In my mind, and I apologize if it sounds,
Right.
Cro-Magnon about it.
No, you're fine.
But I'm trying to understand how you could reach a level
Of that comfortability?
of comfort with someone knowing
romantically
that there's so many options for them. You know?
I guess I just don't think of it like that. I think of just every person as a different interaction, a different vibe,
Okay.
a different, chemistry and connection that you have, whether it's a sexual aspect, whether it's a friendship, whether it's romantic, a business. Like every person has, fits to me in a different category.
Have you dealt with some level of discrimination based on the fact of you being a swinger at all?
Of course, because people automatically, I guess, assume that I'm out here being nasty, I'm not being safe, but that's extremely untrue.
So what about judgment, though? Have you?
You're going to have judgment because people are always going to assume that you're just out here not, just being sloppy, having sex with anybody, and that's really not the case.
How do you deal with that?
You deal with it with every type of judgment or discrimination. You just, you have to be the bigger person.
So have you seen any type of advancement or a change in people's opinions about the swing life from the time that you began to now?
I think there's a lot more acceptance of it and a lot more curiosity.
I can believe
People are
that.
intrigued with what happens. Because unless you're there, you don't know what happens. I can tell you about it, but it's nothing like seeing and hearing and being involved in that atmosphere and environment to really know what's really going on. So,
So now, talk to us about the swing life community, because we know that there are events that you go to. You guys, it's like kind of like a family thing. Talk about that whole setup.
So in addition to the munches that we have vanilla events, which don't involve sex.
So vanilla means no sex involved.
Right. It's just a normal interaction outing with other people. So in those type of events, we do seminars. We're going to do workshops. We'll pole fitness classes, anything that kind of alludes to the element of sex, but we're not actually having sex.
Aaron, go ahead.
No, I'm just listening. I don't have a question at this point.
Okay, you look like you have a curious thought.
Right. You're like you're
No, I'm trying to remember all the terminology because it's
a lot.
it's cryptid.
Yeah.
It seems very cryptid.
It is.
Okay.
It's a lot to learn.
So now, you're in a relationship.
Yes, I am.
And I know, JB, you guys have been together
for about 3 years.
About 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does that work, you guys being in a relationship and you being a swinger? How's that work?
I kind of took him over to the dark side. So I was, he's a newbie, so to speak. But initially it's just a lot of communication. You have to have effective communication. What are your boundaries? What are your limits? What do you like? What do you don't like? What's going to make you feel comfortable and not comfortable? And just keeping that open line of communication. So I know, okay, this is making him uncomfortable. Let's come to a compromise.
What has made him uncomfortable?
Initially, I guess it's just seeing your partner with somebody else, whether it's a man or woman. It's in theory, even with women, you know, to guys, it's like, oh, that's hot, until they actually see it, then they're like, it's still kind of hot, but not sure how I feel about it right then and there.
Do you have to be transparent with all of them? Like, so does he? Since your relationship, he's know to everyone you swang with, correct?
Yeah, I mean, he's there. He's physically there.
Oh, wow.
Is he watching, or is he?
I mean, if he wants to watch, it's his preference.
But let's say he's somewhere and you're off with somebody. Can he go participate with someone else somewhere else?
Of course.
But he has to tell you about it, correct?
I mean, not in that moment if he doesn't want to, but I mean, I have enough trust in him that he wouldn't put me in a position that would disrespect the relationship.
Have you ever seen him with someone else and you felt some kind of way? You felt uncomfortable? Yeah,
I mean, I'm a human being, so I initially feel jealous, and it's always kind of like, oh, she's skinnier than me, or is she prettier than me, or am I not doing something right? Oh, he didn't moan that loud when I was doing that, you know. So but at the end of the day, it's like we come together. You know, we love each other, and it's just strictly pleasure and recreational. It's nothing more than
like
that.
Sports,
essentially. Yeah.
Okay, so
hobby.
I'm just wondering, like, after you're with another person or he's with another person, is it awkward between you and him?
Not really. We just go back to how we were when
you ask questions. Hey, so what y'all do? Or
I mean, at the end of the night, it's like, oh, did you have fun? Like, what, you know, how was that person? Did did they satisfy you? Or sometimes it's just like we laugh about it, like, oh, I saw you talk to that person. You know, it's nothing really serious.
Okay. Does it enhance your relationship with him sexually?
It does. It does.
How?
Because there's certain within us in our couple, we have
a competition thing. I saw him getting it in with you. You know what? I'm about to break you off, girl. I'm about to break you down, girl.
I would say initially in the beginning it was like that for him. It was like, oh, okay, I saw what you were doing. Nah, he ain't about to outdo me. Nice. But now it's kind of like, you know, like I just want to. I get joy out of seeing him happy and pleasured in any capacity, and that includes being sexual.
Do you have to go into character to do anything? Do you feel like kisses in your government name are two different people, and you get to slip in and out of being between?
They're all the same.
Well, look at that! Wow,
it's all one person.
I knew none of this. I knew none of this.
Hey man, you gotta watch my show.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
You gotta listen to the Street Report, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. This is all new. This is all new data for me.
It's a whole nother world that you wouldn't even expect that. And there's people just walking amongst you that are in the swing life, and you just would never know.
It's like the movie Blade, but they're not vampires.
Exactly. We're just swinging.
Wow, that's deep.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, we only got a couple more minutes. Iron, you have any final questions you want to ask?
I think she's giving me all the. I walked away with a lot of takeaways. I know what a vanilla is.
Yes.
I know what a munch is.
Yes. Meet and greet.
And
play.
I know what play is.
Yep. Having sex.
And.
You're intrigued.
I'm gonna be honest with you. No. I'm not super intrigued.
Not intrigued.
I don't think
turned off by it.
Not turned off by it. I'm not turned off by it. I'm a Scorpio, so I like nasty. I just know that ain't for me.
Got you.
But
to
I like
his own.
I like nasty, but I know that's not for me. Mm-hmm. But I'm proud that I know lingo now.
There you go.
I know
he knows
lingo.
how to communicate it now.
We'll ease you on to the dark side. It's okay.
Here we go. Before we go,
okay.
Some of the safeguards that the swing life have to keep everyone safe.
Right.
We know that there's forms, there's rules and procedures. Talk about a little bit more about that.
So entry to get into our events, you need your forms. You need your test results.
HIV,
the whole 9.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. HIV, syphilis, gonorrhea, all the whole, you guys know, the whole 9. Mm-hmm. In addition to that, we read rules at a certain part of the night. So the beginning of the event is just a normal meet and greet type of vibe. You know, we're just kind of getting to know each other, and then at a certain point we expect everybody to dress down, and then that dress down, that is either be nude in a towel or lingerie. And then at that point I will myself or my other half will read the rules, and those are the guidelines that we expect everybody to adhere during the night, and if you do not, you will be escorted out and banned for life. Continue on moving forth.
Okay, so at that point when that happens, we're like, you know what, hey, I want to kick it with you real quick. Can you come over here? How does that,
So you just, if you were approaching a couple, you want to approach both the man and the wife of, or the husband and wife of that couple. And then you just basically ask, may I play with your significant other? Whether that's the woman coming and approaching the man or a man approaching the other half, you want to make sure that that's good with both parties. And then, hey.
Have you ever done that and it was like, nah, we ain't doing
because you're not everybody's type. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's just like dating. You're not going to be everybody's type out in the real world. So you can't expect that even in this sexual environment.
So you've turned down men and women too?
Yeah. And I've been turned down as well.
Is there a demographic for it? Is in DC, since you do it in DC, is there a larger African American population at these things, or is it cut down the middle? Do you every once in a while like, hey, there's an Asian here? Like,
I will say that it can be kind of grouped into DC black swingers and then white swingers, and then you have a mixture that we come together.
Wow.
Yeah. So it just depends on your type of crowd or your age or whatever demographic or based on your kink or fetish.
Is there any like class system involved with it? Like
no.
Like I'm a rich swinger. I don't.
Well, of course. Feed. I mean, if you're of a different tax bracket, you're going to expect a little bit more luxury. So you're going to tend to go towards swingers that offer that type of elite luxury type of thing. And then there's people that are more blue collar that want something a little bit more kickback type. So yeah, you can kind of find what fits you.
Okay.
So are you ever surprised like by the individuals that approach you? Let me rephrase that question. What type of individuals approach you more than regular, race wise, and sex wise?
Typically men, typically black men and older white men.
What is it? Why do you think that's for the brothers?
Maybe because I'm plus size. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
And then
what about for the white guy?
I feel like older white men, it seems to be a fetish sometimes. That whole the black of the berry, sweet of juice type thing.
Is there like any like racial like slavery type?
They do have racial play. I do not participate in race play. That makes that's weird to me.
Kiss it. Come on over here.
Yeah, like that's just it.
Bring your ass up.
There are some people that participate.
Come down from the slave house.
Well, Kissy, Kisses, do you have a? I called you Kizzy. Sorry, Kisses. Is there like a? Like, do you have like a specialty? Like, go to her. She got her.
Do I have a specialty?
Like there's something like, Kisses got. She's this is her thing. You have a thing.
I mean, I'm not one to brag, but I do have a very great oral set of skills. I mean,
the look on your face.
I'm a cunning linguist, if you will.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Wonderful. That's our time. Is there?
I mean, you asked.
Is there anything else that you wanted to ask, Iron?
I'm an open book.
This is it
for it.
I don't think I got it in me to ask any more questions either. I think
his voice went up.
But I was
a little nervous there.
But I'm informed.
Kisses, thank you so much. I appreciate
Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure to see you and my man JB. Come on over here, JB, real quick.
Yo, shout out to JB because that is an amazing. That's powerful. That's really powerful. That is powerful, JB.
Yeah, I mean he's a.
Hold on, I'm gonna move out of the shot. I'm gonna let JB sit down really quick. Go ahead.
JB, since you have a mic now, is there a question you wanted to ask? You always wanted to ask her, like let's say you guys had a sexual mediator.
Okay.
This is the time you get to ask Kisses the question you normally could not ask her.
Dun dun dun.
But here it is a safe space to ask it. Ask her the hardest question you may have been frightened to ever ask her. Ask her it now.
Okay. I mean, I don't think it's ever a question that I am timid or discouraged to ask because we have an open relationship. Mm-hmm. So we keep communication higher priority. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's one of the things that I think.
Is this your first open relationship you've ever had?
Yes. This is one of the first ones. And so I'm new. So a lot of...
Kisses, you turned him out.
I mean, it was with consent and was voluntary. And,
okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
I can walk away or I can dive in deeper if I feel. No pun intended.
But hardest question.
Pun was clearly intended.
Yeah. I think it would be, does she get jealous when I interact with other women?
Answer that. Honestly.
There are times that I do get jealous because that it's a personal insecurity thing. But I trust that you will always come back to home. This is home.
Right.
So it doesn't linger for long. You know, I'm a human. I have regular emotions like everybody else. So sometimes it can, be hard, but generally, it's a kind of a turn on.
All right.
So yeah,
there it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, first of all, congratulations with you guys. More importantly, I'm proud of the relationship you have, because I'm not sure. I think the growing majority of us could not withstand a relationship of this nature.
Right.
But the fact that you both are growing as individuals and growing more in love with each other because of it, kudos to you.
Thank you. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Kisses and Cocktails, or at Taste of Passion DC, or check out our website.
www.tasteofpassion.com.
And that's where you can find all our information about our events, workshops, and digital content. We do a little bit of everything.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this edition of the Street Report Podcast. I am Easy Street. You can follow me at Easy Street on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. My official website is ezstreetshow.com. Want to remind you, the Street Report Podcast is being brought to you by Sia Multimedia, specializing in producing podcasts just like this. We create social media strategies for companies, and we also produce video ads for social media for all you business owners out there. Our website is siamultimedia.com. That's CYA multimedia.com. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Sia Multimedia, making sure all eyes are on you. Keep that third eye open. One love. Peace. Thanks for rolling with the brother.